good. I write was hood. I might get to it. Not out the woods, so bro, I got to do it. Be a monster. That's why my mantra's being onslaught. From the Lone Star to my lungs.
Alright, what is going on YouTube? It is your boy Jarice back at it with another episode of
Real talk.
And as you can probably tell by my face and my voice, I am kind of annoyed right now. And a lot of you are probably like,
What?
So, as of yesterday, Jussie Smollett released from jail following order from appeals court. And somewhere in the back of my mind, I knew that this would happen. Somewhere deep down in the darkest recesses of my mind, I knew this was coming. I didn't want to believe it because, I had a little bit of faith in the justice system, quote unquote. But I should have known better. But you're going to have all these weirdos still coming out. So I'm like, why are you upset that Jussie's free? You should be happy. He's a black man. You're a black man. Oh, this is your inner self-hatred manifesting itself. You're a Sly Cooper, or you're a uncle who makes a lot of ruckus and things of that nature. I'm sure those weirdo people will come out the woodworks, but let's take a look at the story from CBS.
People thought this was over, that this case was behind us. Not so fast. Jussie Smollett posted a $150,000 bond after serving 6 of his 150-day sentence in jail. His legal team obviously elated tonight that he will not be behind bars as he waits out his appeal. Jussie, anything you want to say for yourself? Tonight, flanked by security, Jussie Smollett didn't say a word as he walked free from the Cook County Jail into a waiting SUV. It comes less than a week after Cook County Judge James Lynn sentenced him to 150 days in jail.
Oh my God!
Yeah, less than a week. So he didn't even make it 10% of his time, right? That's actually amazing. That's amazing. But he stuck his hands in the fear of black and brown people in America because, my racism, but he couldn't even spend a week in jail. Okay, yeah, this dude. Yeah, he's so tough and he's standing up for people and he's bad to the bone, I guess.
Tonight, Smollett posted a $150,000 I bond. A Court of Appeals judge agreed with Smollett's attorneys that the actor shouldn't wait his appeal behind bars.
Why not? Why shouldn't he wait out his appeal behind bars? There's a lot of other people who do it, and there's a lot of other people who have been found innocent who still had to wait out their appeal behind bars. But what makes Jussie so special? Is it because he's a celebrity? Is it because he's a black gay male celebrity? I wonder. I wonder if it's because he has powerful connections to certain people, the Don Lemons of the world and people of that nature. You got Taraji P. Henson being retarded and talking about free Jussie and people still claiming that he didn't do it.
Attorney Nenye Uche described the moment he told the actor that he'd be released.
He pushed his hands on the glass and his eyes got teary. And I've never seen that because he's been very strong in there. And he said, I nearly lost hope in our constitutional system.
Oh my God! Wow!
Well, if anything, this is going to make actual normal people lose hope in the system. Because, you have a guy who clearly committed this hoax against himself. But, reasons, it's fine. We can just let him out, and by the time this appeal thing's done, he would have. Yeah, okay, that's the game we're gonna play. Like by the time this appeals process is done, it'll already have been past the 150 days, so there's no reason to send him back to jail, right? Yeah, okay.
He did say that. And that was his reaction. He was shocked. I think he had nearly given up. I can't speak for him. You would have to ask him that question. But just looking at him, a human to another human, put in a cage for a class 4 felony. Shame.
It's a felony, bro. Like, it happens. There's people who've probably been locked up for misdemeanors. But you won't say anything about that, will you?
Uche also criticized the special prosecutor's decision to charge Smollett again after the initial charges were dropped by Cook County State's Attorney Kim Fox, and Smollett paid a fine.
Yeah, it was double jeopardy. Double jeopardy.
Is it right for a person to be punished twice?
But was he punished the first time? Legitly?
Punished twice.
And after the initial charges were dropped by Cook County State's Attorney Kim Fox, and Smollett paid a fine.
Is it right for a person to be punished twice? And I'm gonna say it. Is he getting all this attention because he accused two white men?
During his 6 days in jail, Smollett's
the?
team says he...
Okay, that's weird. I don't know why the video wouldn't pause there. But yes, he is getting all this attention because he accused two phantom white men of attacking him in the dead of night, apparently like 2-3 o'clock in the morning, when it was like below 0 degrees. I mean, if it gets below 32 degrees, I generally don't like being outside. That's just me, but we won't talk about that. So apparently it was below 0 that night, I guess, when this attack happened. He just happened to be walking to wherever he was going, and these quote-unquote white men apparently popped out the alleyway. I would say bushes, but it's in Chicago, so I don't think they have that many bushes. They popped out and said, aren't you that guy from Empire? That's not the language he used, but I'll paraphrase. Aren't you that guy from Empire? Aren't you that gay black male from Empire? And it's like, well, I guess white supremacists watch Empire, I guess. I mean, considering I don't even watch Empire and I'm the target demographic, I highly doubt that white supremacists watch Empire, but, I digress. And they just happen to have a bottle of bleach and a rope to tie around him as a noose, and then beat him up, pour the bleach on him, put the noose around his neck, and then when the cops get to his apartment, I guess he took the noose off and then put it back on his neck, and yeah, because any normal, rational person would do that. Yes.
He didn't eat.
He's been drinking ice cold water. Ice water. That's been his food and liquid.
Yeah, water doesn't really suffice as food. I don't know if you know this. I mean, maybe in the village you came from before you came to America, maybe that's all y'all had to eat. Maybe, just maybe. Y'all had to eat ice and drink water. Maybe that's how y'all survived in whatever village you're from, bro. But just because he's choosing not to eat, that is a voluntary decision that he has made on his own, so I do not feel bad for him. He would not be in this situation if he wouldn't have faked this hate crime against himself. Just like the NFL player who robbed his own store and painted a swastika on the wall, or the black girl who cut off her own dreadlocks and said that white kids were calling her hair nappy, even though I've never heard a white person use the word nappy unless they were using it around other black people. It's usually the black or the white people who think they're black, but I digress. Or the girl who wrote colored and white above the water fountains. That's like the most recent one I can remember, but
Protest is this, what's the...
Charlie, if you were in jail for something you didn't do, would you eat or would you be I don't know.
There's plenty of people in jail for stuff they didn't do. All these false Me Too allegations that are coming out. But, they eat. So, but, this guy's just disingenuous. It's kind of like those African email scams. But, it is what it is.
Now, the special prosecutor in this case, Dan Webb, filed a response of his own tonight, saying that some of the claims that Smollett's legal team has made, specifically that Smollett, that his health and safety is at risk in the jail.
Yeah, health and safety at risk when he's isolated and he has food and water offered to him, but he refuses to eat. So I guess they'll say his health was in jeopardy because he didn't eat. It's like, yeah, you got to eat whatever they give you, bro. Sorry, it's not Wagyu steak and freaking and lobster every day like you're accustomed to, or I don't know, avocado on prosciutto or something. But
We're factually incorrect. We are live tonight from the Cook County Jail. Charlie DeMar, CBS 2 News. Brad.
and then here's the thing, right? I don't want to hear anybody else say that the justice system is unfair to black men and blah, blah, blah. Like, the system is racist and all this other crap. Because Jussie Smollett has single-handedly proven that, hey, you can be a black man and you can still get out on some bullshit because you have connections to the right people and you have the right amount of money inside your bank account. / the right status in society as a gay black male in 2022. Because if this would have been me, I would have still been stuck in there. Just throwing that out there. But anyway, let's take a look at another clip, right? Let's bring it all home.
To doubt his account.
I'm pissed off.
What is it that has you so angry? Is it the attackers?
It's the attackers, but it's also the attacks.
The attacks that didn't happen, mind you, but, you know. And this guy's just sitting here, just cheesing, just the attacks. Yes.
It's like, you know, at first it was a thing of like, listen, if I tell the truth.
But you didn't.
Then that's it, because it's the truth. Mm-hmm. Then it became a thing of like, oh, how can you doubt that? Like, how do you not believe that? It's
easy, fam. Your story did not make no sense. I'm from the South, so if anybody in theory would have had something like this happen to them, it probably would have been me before you. I mean, I know I'm not famous. I know I'm a nobody with 1,800 subs on YouTube. But yeah, if this would have happened anywhere, it would have been in the South and not deep freaking blue Chicago. Just throwing that out there. And then you mean to tell me that these two white men were just literally walking, again, that just happened to have bleach and a rope. They just happen to have these items. I don't know any individual. I don't know if I've ever seen anybody in my entire life walk around with some bleach and a rope. Like, come on, bro. Let's be real here.
the truth. And then it became a thing of like, oh, it's not necessarily that you don't believe that this is the truth. You don't even want to see the truth.
What happened that night, Jussie?
When I landed in Chicago, and Frank Gatson, who's like my uncle, and he's also my creative director, and he picked me up. And then we got back to the apartment. There was no food. And so I went out to Walgreens thinking that they were 24 hours and to have a smoke. Walgreens was closed. So I called him up and I said, hey, I'm gonna run to Subway, which was across the street, and I'm gonna get a salad. Do you want anything? I went to the Subway and got the order. During that time, I texted my manager thinking that he was still in Australia because he was on an Australian tour with one of his other.
Yeah, and remember, this allegedly happened at 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't know a single Subway that's open that late. I mean, it'd be nice if the one right up the street was open that late, because then I could literally walk and get me a sub at any time. But, you know, it is what it is. They close at 8 o'clock, so yeah.
Other clients. And I say, yo, call me when you can. He called me immediately. And while he was on the phone, I heard, as I was crossing the intersection, I heard Empire.
Yeah, no, fam, because I didn't know who you were until this happened to you, because I don't even watch Empire. And again, I'm the target demographic, but I usually don't like these whole pro-black fist in the air. This is a show that has a predominantly black cast. Like, dude, I generally don't care about the color of the cast. Is it a good show or not? And 9 times out of 10, when you base a show solely around its cast, skin color, it's usually pretty lame. Just throwing that out there.
I don't answer to Empire. My name ain't Empire.
Yeah, no, no. Again, no. They just see you and they're Empire. Like, what? Like, bro.
And I didn't answer. I kept walking, and then I heard Empire. So I turned around and I said, "Did you just say to me?" And I see.
Yeah, okay, if this did happen to you, you didn't say that, my dude. Like, no, you a little bit too soft for that.
The attacker, masked, and he said,
Masked, but you got him on camera. Got it.
"This MAGA country," punches me right in the face. So I punched his ass back.
This is MAGA country in deep blue Chicago. Again, deep blue Chicago. Vote blue, no matter who, Chicago. They've been running that city for I don't know how many decades, and you know, it's a wonderful place, I'm sure. You know, Democrat-run city for 5+ decades, and it's a wonderful place, you know, gang violence and corrupt cops and all this other crap, but you know, MAGA country.
And then we started tussling. You know, it was very icy, and we ended up tussling by the stairs, fighting. There was a second person involved who was kicking me in my back, and then it just stopped. And
magically, it just stopped.
And they ran off, and I saw where they ran, and the phone was in my pocket, but it had fallen out, and it was sitting there. And my manager was still on the phone. So I picked up the phone and I said, "Brandon," and he's like, "What's going on?" And I said, "I was just jumped." And then I looked down and I see that there's a rope around my neck, which I hadn't
You hadn't noticed it before?
No,
You didn't
because
see
The rope used instant transmission and got around his neck. Okay. You guys get the point. I'm done with this man. Like, just, ugh, God. And this is what real white supremacy looks like, because you have a guy who clearly did this to himself, but they're going to let this dumbass back on the streets, and they're going to pretend like this didn't happen because white liberals have a narrative to promote, and, you know, there's a lot of people that are locked up who for crimes they actually didn't commit, but we're not going to worry about those guys. We're going to worry about the rich and privileged celebrity who was isolated from general population, who is clearly guilty beyond the shadow of a reasonable doubt, but we're going to worry about him and not actual, you know, people who didn't commit crimes, who probably need their cases looked into. But this is what I would deem as actual white supremacy, because there's the establishment who is more worried about Jussie Smollett as opposed to other people who might be innocent. But I'm done. I don't even want to talk about this anymore, to be honest. But let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Did I make a little bit of sense? Did I make a lot of sense? Did I make too much sense? But it's been your boy Jarice, back with another episode of Real Talk. I'll catch y'all in the next video. I'm gone.
Linking on my brain. Okay, yeah, okay.